The human heart is a tireless, magnificent engine, beating over 100,000 times a day to sustain our very existence. Yet it remains deeply vulnerable to three devastating, life-threatening cardiovascular crises that we must thoroughly understand in order to survive: the heart attack, cardiac arrest, and heart failure. We begin with the heart attack, or myocardial infarction, which is fundamentally a catastrophic plumbing disaster occurring when a major coronary artery becomes completely blocked by a ruptured, hardened cholesterol plaque and a rapidly forming blood clot, instantly cutting off the vital supply of oxygenated blood and causing a section of the heart muscle to suffocate, turn dark, and die, radiating crushing pain through the chest and arms. In stark contrast, sudden cardiac arrest is not a plumbing issue, but a catastrophic failure of the heart's internal electrical system, where highly organized electrical impulses suddenly shatter into chaotic random sparks, causing the lower chambers of the heart to stop pumping and instead quiver uncontrollably in a deadly state known as ventricular fibrillation, immediately halting all blood flow to the brain and resulting in physical collapse within mere seconds unless a rapid defibrillator shock can reset the rhythm. Finally, we face heart failure, which is neither a sudden arterial blockage nor an electrical short circuit, but a gradual, agonizing mechanical weakening of the entire heart muscle, where the vital pump becomes too stiff or exhausted to push blood efficiently throughout the body, causing fluid to dangerously back up and leak into the fragile lungs, making every single breath a struggle, while simultaneously starving the kidneys and causing massive, painful swelling in the lower legs and feet. But we must ask ourselves, why do these deadly conditions happen? And the undeniable truth is that the root causes lie almost entirely in our modern destructive lifestyle choices and highly processed diets that act as daily cardiovascular poison. When we consume foods loaded with artificial trans fats, excessive saturated fats, and deep-fried elements, we flood our delicate bloodstream with sticky LDL cholesterol that stubbornly clings to the smooth inner walls of our arteries, slowly hardening over decades into thick, calcified plaques in a silent, deadly disease called atherosclerosis. This vascular damage is exponentially accelerated by massive intakes of refined sugars that act like microscopic sandpaper, scratching and inflaming the delicate arterial lining to attract even more plaque, while high sodium from processed fast foods forces our blood vessels to violently constrict, clamping down and creating severe hypertension or high blood pressure, which acts like a relentless vice grip, forcing the heart muscle to pump aggressively against extreme physical resistance until it permanently thickens, strains, and eventually begins to fail. Furthermore, inhaling toxic cigarette smoke introduces deadly chemicals directly into the bloodstream that not only corrode the arteries, but make the blood itself dangerously sticky and highly prone to sudden fatal clotting, while a sedentary lifestyle and obesity suffocate the internal organs with thick layers of yellow visceral fat that actively release dangerous inflammatory signals straight into the heart tissue. Add to this the modern epidemic of chronic mental stress, which continuously drenches the brain and cardiovascular system in toxic levels of cortisol and adrenaline, causing the heart to beat fast and irregularly, misfiring its electrical signals and accelerating vascular decay at a terrifying rate. Fortunately, the human body is a miraculous, highly resilient machine, and we hold the absolute power to heal, reverse this internal damage, and completely transform our physiological destiny by changing our daily fuel and habits. Transitioning to a whole food, heart-healthy diet is our ultimate line of defense. By consuming rich sources of omega-3 fatty acids like wild salmon, walnuts, and chia seeds, we send golden, protective molecules through our arteries to naturally reduce severe inflammation and stabilize existing plaques so they never unexpectedly rupture. Simultaneously, eating abundant soluble fiber from oats, lentils, and leafy greens acts like a powerful internal sponge, physically sweeping through the digestive tract to bind with and drag toxic bad cholesterol out of the body entirely before it can ever reach the heart,
while vibrant, colorful antioxidants from dark berries and cruciferous vegetables act as microscopic shields, neutralizing harmful free radicals and repairing the damaged arterial walls. Coupled with this nutritional armor, consistent cardiovascular exercise acts as a literal miracle drug for the entire circulatory system, forcing constricted blood vessels to dilate and expand, significantly lowering resting blood pressure, and even triggering the miraculous biological growth of entirely new microscopic capillary networks that naturally bypass old blockages and feed the heart muscle with fresh, vital oxygen. When we combine this active physical lifestyle with the absolute cessation of smoking to flush out vascular toxins, prioritize 7 to 8 hours of deep restorative sleep to allow the heart muscle to physically repair its torn microscopic fibers, and actively manage our daily stress through meditation and deep breathing to calm and regulate the electrical nervous system, we step completely out of the shadow of chronic disease. Your heart asks for nothing but clean fuel and mindful daily care. And by making these empowered, consistent choices today, you do not just prevent a sudden medical tragedy, you actively build an unbreakable, resilient biological foundation for an extraordinarily long, vibrant, and healthy life.